Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, the Harakak Wadash, the Holy Spirit, or the Spirit that's holy. And like I said, if I haven't said it before, double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect scattered abroad, mainly in Babylon the Great, which is the main salvation, and where Judah and Israel, both southern and northern kingdom, was oppressed together here in the Americas. North, Central, and South America, mainly North America. All right. And basically, this is Salakia. This is a part 2 video of the lesson I did yesterday, going into peace and safety, then sudden destruction falls upon them. Because at the end of the day, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai has prophecies written in the Holy Bible that only the true prophets, the true men of the Lord, will have that spiritual understanding of knowing what's going on and the times that we're living in. And it's clear as day, if you have a spiritual understanding, that we are in a time of hate and we are in a time of war. All right, this place is about to be thrown down by the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. He's about to bring the plagues upon this earth. But, these people living in Babylon the Great, still trusting in oppression, lies and deceit. Our people want to hold on to this place, and ultimately they're going to fall with it. What's up, bro? What happened? 8:38. Salakia. But like I was saying, the average American people, they trust and believe in Babylon the Great America, thinking that it's gonna, bounce back, go back to its good old days, as the Edomites like to bring up through Trump. But nonetheless, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Lord is about to destroy this place, and us being the men of the Lord, the prophets, the hopeful elect. All right, we see all the devastations that's coming upon this place. All right, at the end of the day. And we are, the men of the Lord, the prophets, starting off with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because we enter into their labors. But nonetheless, I just want to get straight into the point, get some scriptures going into the day of the Lord. How it's going to come as a thief in the night, how terrible it's really going to be, because, especially our people. All right, and that's why the scriptures say 2/3 there shall be cut off and die. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Zechariah 13:8. Because majority of our people, all they want to do is so-called receive the rest of the crumbs of Babylon the Great in a dying society. All right, and this place is being thrown down by the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. That's how these words and prophecies are faithful and true. All right, there's no more, scoffers and scorners, really and truly, even though you're still going to have some, because that's pursuing the 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, and verse 3, you're going to have scoffers in the last days. But nonetheless, the scoffing, the more they scoff, the more and more reality is sinking in, and things are really truly happening. All right, we see all the chaos that's going on with Trump, with the tariffs, cutting off certain benefits in America, still talking about war. All right, the MOTB, digital currencies, Neuralink, all that. And the reason why all these things is about to come to pass, because Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is he's going to rescue his people, once and for all at the end of the day. This is the last captivity, pursuing the Lamentations 4:21. You read on down to 22. All right, and Edom is the end of the world. So-called Caucasian white race, which are ruling right now in the last days that we're living in. All right. So like I said, you can watch this video clip, and this dealing with a influencer that was in a foreign land in Thailand. And meanwhile, while Jake, being influencer, social media, making money into something that they really enjoy doing, so-called, I guess, because they're not really technically working a corporate 9-to-5 job. They're so-called, self-employed or under another private corporation, or whatever the case may be. Nonetheless, this individual went out there to enjoy life. Having the pride of life. That goes back to First John chapter 2 and 15. All right, roughly paraphrasing. The pride of life. Love not this world, neither the things that are in, because that's what Babylon the Great offers you. It offers you, vainglory, really worshiping yourself. All right, forgetting about the higher power and fulfilling your quote unquote dreams, as they like to say. The American dream, all that, the land of opportunity. But we all, us having a spiritual eye, this place is really a strong delusion, ultimately witchcraft, man, at the end of the day, because everything that Babylon the Great promotes is to go against Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, if you really truly look at it. So I want to get 2 Peter right quick. 2 Peter chapter 3 and 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. All right, and that's the mind state of the average American, the average Babylonian. All right, us being the prophets of the Lord, going out there teaching and preaching, ushering in the kingdom of heaven, and also bringing down this empire. All right, our people, they hate the message. Ultimately, they hate Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai when it boils down to their spirit. And the Lord has looked at them as reprobate silver. All right, worthless, void of judgments, Salakia, because that's what reprobate goes into, void of judgment. And hey, that's the 2/3, because they don't understand the scriptures. And Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai hasn't given them that spirit to understand. He gave them on to their own vile affections. Romans, the 1st chapter, verse 19 on down, you can read. All right, the curses, smiting our people with madness. And ultimately what the people said over 2,000 years ago when Lord Yahweh Shai walked the earth, and they denied him. All right, so they have to, live up to those idle words that they said, over those thousands of years ago. But continuing on, verse 9, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but all should come to repentance. All right, and at the end of the day, the Lord is not slack concerning the prophecies. All right, concerning the promises that he made unto Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because at the end all be all, the kingdom is only for the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, so-called Haitians and Jamaicans. The true people, or, nations that went under hardcore slavery. All right. The only nation that went under the atrocities that they went underneath, going back into Daniel, the 9th chapter, in verse 11. All right. So us being the prophets, we understand that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai has cursed us as a people, but now the Great Awakening is happening, of course. Salakia, hold on. But yeah, the Great Awakening is happening. All right, and the Lord is fulfilling prophecies dealing with MOTB, World War III, economic woes. All right, all these things about to come to pass. And that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And these people, they don't have a clue, man. And that's the scary part, because the prophets are out there. But meanwhile, you got our people still stuck in la la land, want to scoff and scorn, not understanding the times that we're living in. But it wasn't given unto them to understand. So that's why we say, hey, the hell with the 2/3, man. Because the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, said the same thing. Verse 10. But the day of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. All right. Hey, how you doing? And that's nuclear destruction. Okay. That's total nuclear destruction, because we're seeing the times we're living in, that these nations are gearing up for the Third World War. All right. And in due time and, in due season, it will come to pass. Ain't no doubt about that, because we have faith in it. All right. We haste in the day of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we understand and know, hey, with this coming to pass, we're going to be in righteousness forever. We're not going to be able to die no more. We're going to live as immortal gods, all right, ruling over the nations, all right, over the peoples. And having that king mentality, man, that ruling class mentality. Because us as Israel, everything was made for our sakes, all right? But due to the curses and us being disobedient, it's all been, prophesied, it's all been written for the greatest, comeback. The people that, that people wouldn't expect to be the chosen people of the Lord, but it makes perfect sense. While we the most fucked up nation, but at the same time, the greatest. And people know that, man. Every invention people bring up, they always buy a so-called black face, a dark skin. And even these nations, they know the difference between an African and a so-called nigger, or as they call us back in the day, nigger, And that's truth. That's just the harsh truth, man. And it's to the point, it's not even harsh, it's just reality. And people are not living in the reality world at the end of the day. Want people to be bygones, want to, Esau, Edom want us to forgive and forget what they did to us. But at the end of the day, the Lord said he got a controversy, man, for Zion's sake, for the nation of Israel, towards you fucking heathens. And you will serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai and us being his people in the kingdom of heaven. All right, whether you like it or not. And if you don't like it, hey, we're going to judge you. All right, you already know the rest. I'm not even going to get into, detail how we're going to fuck you heathens up. But, hey, Akim should have an idea. And like the scriptures say, meditate terrors upon them, man. At the end of the day, these nations are going to get it. Believe that. Verse 10 again. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation? All right, all, life of conduct. So we got to be very circumspect, because the evil days are here. Pursuing the Ephesians 5 and 15 on down to 16, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we have to be very circumspect, man, to our daily routines, man, what we do every day, because a persecution gonna come. All right, we understand we're not greater than Yahweh Shai, just like how they turn on Yahweh Shai. They're gonna turn on his men. And Yahweh Shai told us that was a prophecy. Some of us gonna have to be held in detention centers, prison camps, you know. But that's just how the Lord wrote it, you know. And just praying through the Spirit, no matter whatever happens to me, I just pray that I be delivered, man, no matter what, because I understand and know shit is going to happen. Shit is supposed to happen, you know. Basically counting the calls. Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of our power, of God, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. And that's what we waiting on, man. The righteous kingdom of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach that's going to be given by and through his Father, our Heavenly Father, Yahweh, all right, which is the true names, okay? Like, you know, the elder apostle Tahar said, always say it's going to be a great shaking in Israel, man. And not only with the MOTB, but even with the rest of the false doctrines and these false leaders and teachers, man. All right? But mainly that MOTB. So that's that. Go to Zephaniah. Day of judgment on Judah. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. All right, because war is about to happen. All right, it's about to be all chaos in the streets of Babylon the Great America. All right, it ain't gonna be too much longer of, you know, going to work on your own free will, driving your vehicles on your own free will, you know, going out, you know, doing the, you know, committing adultery, you know, all the things that you have liberty in Babylon the Great to do. All that shit's gonna hit a major shift. All right, and that's how they gonna know that a prophet had been among them, because at the end of the day, they know about the Hebrew Israelites, whether it be in a, you know, negative term or a positive term. At the end of the day, and the Lord, you know, ultimately just putting the Spirit upon us to teach and preach, man, because we are at the end. All right, the Lord is about to redeem us through the Spirit and power Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, he's about to destroy this kingdom. We have faith in that. We believe in that, and we want these things to come to pass, because that's the only way of being righteous, you know, being finally delivered. Okay. Verse 15. The day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, ultimately resolving into those nuclear missiles. The nuclear missiles are going to, you know, leave some real catastrophic damages upon Babylon the Great, to the point that this place would not be inhabited by mankind ever again, but only desert-like and doleful creatures that the Lord is going to set up over here in the different isles and vultures and, you know, everything like that the scriptures described. All right. A day, verse 16, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, against Babylon the Great. All right, and majority, you already know, the masses of the people are going to be so surprised when this shit pop off, man. That's why the scriptures clearly say that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night, because we seeing all the signs going on and playing out, but our people still don't want to hearken. They still don't want to believe. And ultimately, they don't want to believe because they're not of the elect. They're not of the Lord's chosen people. All right. Even though they are Israel, but going back to Romans 9 and 6, not all Israel is of Israel. And we already know, like I said, 2/3 of the people are going to be cut off and die. And all the sinners of his people, Israel, shall die. Okay? So that's what the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua say. Praying that we're not part of that large multitude to get put to death, but to see salvation. Verse 17, I will bring distress upon men because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, because great pride has been in the land. Great misery is about to come upon this place. 2nd Ezra 8:50. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and as their flesh as dung. Ultimately, nuclear missiles is going to do that, going back to Zechariah 14:12. All right, going into that plague. All right, the plague that's going to melt the eyes out your holes, man. Let me get it right quick. Zechariah 14:12. It says, and this shall be the plague wherein the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. All right, and that's going into the nuclear missiles, the nuclear destruction, and describing how intense that heat is going to be. While you're standing upon your feet, the Lord is going to melt the people of Babylon the Great, the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And guess who's also in the mix of that? His own people, because they have also fought against Jerusalem, the prophets. All right, these are the same ones that murdered the prophets. All right, reincarnation is biblical, and that's why majority of the people, his people, the 2/3, when they receive that mark, you know, they're gonna be put to death. It's just that simple. And that just lets you know that the Lord, hey, he did not want you. He didn't choose you for salvation. Verse 18, Zephaniah 1:18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. All right, in 1 hour, that great judgment has come upon Babylon the Great. All right, as it says in the book of Revelation. I believe that's either the 17th or the 18th chapter, but it says in 1 hour. All right, matter of fact, let me make sure. So Revelation 18:10, and also verse 17, and also verse 19. All right, letting you know that Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed in a speedy riddance, man, in a speedy judgment, quick judgment. Because even though it tarried, all right, the prophecies, even though, you know, wickedness being on high, judgments wasn't executed expediently, but when the Lord destroyed this place and melt this shit off the face of the earth, off of the map, then you gonna know that was the anger of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, that's been written in the book. And always Kahal Layam La, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, man. For this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and the truth, and the elders and apostles of Great Millstone continuing the fight, putting the spirit upon them. And that lets you know always that it always has been Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai dwelling within his people. The Lord never forsook us, even when he forsook us, man. All right? And that's a lesson right there, man. The Lord never forsook us, even when he did forsook us, because he still had mercy upon Israel through our great forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and gave up his only begotten son, Lord Yahushua, man. But like I said, once again, you got niggas saying Lord Yahushua is not worthy to be praised. Niggas are insane. So I got that. I want to get this right here, because at the end of the day, you know, people are living in prosperity. People are trying to live it up in Babylon the Great, trying to keep up, as they say, with the Joneses, trying to do this, trying to do that. But at the end of the day, the Lord about to destroy this place, man. All right, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You just have to deal with it through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, man. Because it's just the truth, you know. Lord doing this thing. Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 11 and 14, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. Verse 25 in chapter 11, in the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity. And that's what's about to happen upon Babylon the Great. No more, you know, hey, man, I want to say no more of these prideful women, you know, shunning dudes because they don't make enough money. You know, no more, you know, niggas killing each other and, you know, fucking each other, women, and doing all type of manner of wickedness towards each other, towards our brother and sisters and shit like that. You know, the Lord really about to reset the nation of Israel, restore us, okay? And we cannot wait until that happens through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. All right, that's why we go out and preach. That's why we continue to do our daily videos to the best of our ability. And I'm speaking, you know, towards myself. Like I said in my previous videos, I know, hey, I can slack, man. And I know I can do better, you know? And at the end of the day, hey, I'm going to do better, because shit, it's all I got. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, really and truly. Without him, man, I wouldn't have nothing. You know, the Lord always, you know, showed mercy upon me, that I feel, you know. And I'm no matter what, catch hell, just got to go through with it, because at the end of the day, the Lord still, you know, that just let you know the Lord dealing. And then, you know, pray that I remain in this truth, keep my integrity, keep praising Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah no matter what, and keep it pushing, man. But yeah, man, the day of the Lord is going to come unexpected and suddenly. All right. We get, okay, this is Matthew 24 and 36. But of the day and hour knoweth no man, and that includes the prophets. All right, also includes Yahweh Shai, even though he's sitting on the right hand of his Father. But even Lord Yahweh Shai don't even know when he's going to come back and get his revenge and rescue his people. Okay? So at the end of the day, that's why we hasten in the day of the Lord. But we got to keep fighting until, you know, the Lord come back. And that's ultimately faith. That's faith, man. Verse 36, but of the day and of the hour knoweth no man, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noe were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, and it goes into it, you know, what they was doing, you know, doing their daily routine. So that was the lesson part 2. So I'm going to close out by saying, Kahalayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Wakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles. Great millstone that teach us this truth. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect. Shalom.